Live streaming is on.
អូខេហើយយើងចាប់ផ្ដើមនេះជាការ live លើកទី2 Okay, good evening everyone, and today and this time we study unit 3. លើកនេះយើងរៀនមេរៀនទី3រឿងទី3បាទចូលមេរៀនទី3ឥឡូវខ្ញុំបិទមេរៀនទី2ចោលសិនអូខេយើងមេរៀនទី3ហើយខ្ញុំទៅយកមេរៀនបកប្រែខ្មែរមេរៀនទី3ដែរនេះមេរៀនទី3ខ្ញុំបានបរៀន grammar ហើយអ្នកទាំងនេះមើលវីដេអូ clip ឡើងវិញឃើញហើយការខ្ញុំបរៀន grammar មិនខ្លះអញ្ចឹងខ្ញុំសូមរំលឹកបន្តិចគឺយើងរៀនពីការប្រៀបធៀបគុណនាម comparison of adjective ក្នុងនោះយើងមាន equal degree comparative degree និង superlative degree equal degree យើងមានរូបមន្ត2ប្រភេទរូបមន្តទី1 irregular adjective និង regular adjective ក្នុង regular adjective យើងមាន4ប្រភេទទៅទៀតគឺមានប្រភេទ one syllable 2ឬក៏ more syllable adjective ឬក៏ adjective ដែលបញ្ចប់ដោយ y ហើយនឹងធ្វើឲ្យ adjective ខ្សោយអញ្ចឹងរូបមន្តពីលើអូខេរហូតដល់ទី3នេះគឺធ្វើឲ្យ adjective ខ្លាំងជាង adjective ធម្មតាដូចជា happy happier than សប្បាយជាងនិង the happiest សប្បាយបំផុតតែសម្រាប់ធ្វើឲ្យខ្សោយយើងប្រើពាក្យ less និង least បូកមួយ adjective បែបណាក៏ដោយដូចជា good less good than និង the least good ណាអញ្ចឹង comparison of adjective គឺមានបែបហ្នឹងអ្នកទាំងនេះចង់មើលលម្អិតសូមមើលវីដេអូ clip ខ្ញុំបញ្យល់ឡើងវិញក្នុងវីដេអូ clip ខ្ញុំមានបញ្យល់ជាច្រើនពីរឿងហ្នឹងអញ្ចឹងណាអូខេប៉ុន្តែក្នុង comparative degree ខ្ញុំសូមបញ្ជាក់ឡើងវិញគឺត្រូវមានពាក្យ then ហើយក្នុង superlative degree ត្រូវមានពាក្យ the អូខេអញ្ចឹងយើងត្រឡប់មកមើលមេរៀនរបស់យើងនេះគឺជា vocabulary ដែលនិយាយអំពីនេះគឺនិយាយពី cities around the world ហើយក្នុងvocabulary នេះគេមានពាក្យមួយចំនួនដូចជា population climate capital public transportation location nightlife and cost of living នេះជាការពិពណ៌នាពី A ដល់ G តើយើងបាន match អានឹងហើយនៅយើងបានផ្គូផ្គងវាទេអូខេចឹងបើមិនតាន់បានទេសូមស្ដាប់នឹងខ្ញុំទាំងអស់គ្នានៅទីនេះ
Unit 3 Cities around the world page 26 Exercise 2
1. Population D. The number of people that live in an area.
2. Climate A. The weather, for example, warm and mild.
3. Capital F. The government center of a state or country.
4. Public transportation G. Vehicles for everybody to use, for example, buses, trains, subways, airplanes, and taxis.
5. Location C. Where something is in the world. We sometimes use directions to talk about this.
6. Nightlife B. Entertainment and things to do at night. For example, restaurants, clubs, and theaters.
7. Cost of living. E. How much money it costs to live in an area, including the price for housing, food, and entertainment.
Okay, now we finished that. And like the title, it said cities around the world. And now we have 3 cities: San Francisco in the United States, Tokyo in Japan, Mexico City in Mexico. And the 3 cities has different climate, different population, different nightlife, different public transportation, and also different cost of living. You can use comparison of attitude by, you can see that, for example, in the population, Mexico City, you can say Mexico City is the most population city, or you can say that Mexico City has more people than Tokyo, like this. And about public transportation, you can say that Tokyo is the best. Tokyo has the best public transportation. Or you can compare the two, like Tokyo is better than San Francisco. And about cost of living, you can say that Tokyo is the most expensive city. Or you can compare, for example, San Francisco is more expensive than Mexico City, something like this. So this is kind of speaking activity that you have to learn to speak, as I have spoken a moment ago, as a sample for you to study and to follow the speaking. Okay, អញ្ចឹងក្នុងនេះគេឲ្យយើងរៀននិយាយ compare ចុះ compare ឡើងរវាងទីក្រុងទាំង3នេះ compare មួយក្នុងចំណោម3ឬក្នុងចំណោម2ដោយខ្ញុំឲ្យជាគំរូអំបញ្ញមិញណា អញ្ចឹងយើងអាចសិក្សាតាមពិតខ្ញុំបានប្រៀនក្នុងវីដេអូឃ្លីបហើយប៉ុន្តែប្រហែលជាអ្នកខ្លះក៏បានស្ដាប់អ្នកខ្លះក៏មិនទាន់បានស្ដាប់អ្នកខ្លះក៏បានរៀនអ្នកខ្លះក៏មិនទាន់បានរៀនអញ្ចឹងណាតែខ្ញុំសំណូមពរអ្នកនរគ្នាត្រូវតែរៀនតាមវីដេអូឃ្លីបមេរៀនទី2និងទី3ខ្ញុំបានបើកឲ្យប្រឡងហើយនៅក្នុង e-learning អ្នកនរគ្នាអាចចូលប្រឡងបានបន្ទាប់ពីរៀនមេរៀននេះហើយក៏ដូចជាដល់ថ្ងៃស្អែកក៏នៅតែអាចប្រឡងបានដែរណា ចឹងកុំភ្លេចចូលប្រឡងឲ្យសោះមេរៀនទី2និងទី3ណាសប្តាហ៍ក្រោយយើងប្រកាសជាប្រឡងមេរៀនទី4និងទី5ហើយណាប៉ុន្តែមេរៀនទី4ទី5ថ្ងៃស្អែកនឹងទម្លាក់មេរៀនឲ្យអ្នកទាំងអស់គ្នារៀនដូចសប្តាហ៍មុនដែរហើយពេលយើងជួបគ្នាសប្តាហ៍ក្រោយយើងធ្វើបែបនេះដែរបើអ្នកទាំងអស់គ្នាចង់ឲ្យរៀនឆាប់ចប់អ្នកទាំងអស់គ្នាត្រូវមើលវីដេអូឃ្លីបឲ្យហើយធ្វើលំហាត់ឲ្យហើយមកគ្រាន់តែឆ្លើយមើលខ្ញុំនិងស្ដាប់ការបញ្យល់របស់ខ្ញុំតិចតួចយើងនឹងឆាប់ចប់ណា ចឹងកុំភ្លេចអីសោះត្រូវតែរៀនតាមវីដេអូឃ្លីបដែលខ្ញុំបានទម្លាក់ជូនរួចហើយអូខេនេះជាការស្ដាប់
Yes sir
អូខេនេះជាការស្ដាប់មួយទៀតដែលនិយាយអំពីការស្ដាប់នេះមាន2ភាគភាគទី1ឆ្លើយ3សំណួរឆ្លើយ2សំណួរភាគទី2ឆ្លើយ5សំណួរណាអូខេអញ្ចឹងយើងស្ដាប់ជាមួយខ្ញុំហើយបូកនឹងមើលការបកប្រែខ្មែរ នៃអត្ថបទណាអូខេអញ្ចឹងយើងចាប់ផ្ដើមដូចតទៅ
Page 27, exercise 2.
Where are you from, Andy?
I'm from Sydney.
And you live in Seoul now.
Yes, that's right.
So, do you like living in Seoul?
Yes, I do. I like it a lot. It's really interesting. I'm studying at Seoul National University.
Oh, right. And what's Sydney like? Is it very different from Seoul?
Yeah, it is. A lot of things are different.
Okay, so next listening.
Page 27, exercise 3.
Ah, right. And what's Sydney like? Is it very different from Seoul?
Yeah, it is. A lot of things are different.
Like what?
Well, the language.
Yes, of course.
And the climate is more extreme here. It gets a lot hotter here in the summer and a lot colder in the winter.
Oh, really? I thought it was very hot in Sydney.
It is in the summer, but I think it gets hotter here.
And what else is different? Is Sydney a big city like Seoul?
Yeah, Sydney is the biggest city in Australia, but it's smaller than Seoul. I think there are around 5 million people in Sydney.
Wow, Sydney is smaller then, much smaller. I think there are more than 15 million people living in Seoul.
Really? That many? That's a lot of people. Seoul is definitely more crowded than Sydney. In Sydney, a lot of people live in houses, but in Seoul, most people live in apartments.
Yes, there's more space in Australia.
Yes, but Seoul has things that Sydney doesn't have. I mean, Seoul is so modern, and public transportation is really good. It might be better than in Sydney. A lot of people still use their cars in Sydney, and the traffic can get quite bad.
And what about nightlife and eating out? Is it expensive to go to a restaurant?
Well, it depends on the restaurant, I suppose. Some are cheap and some are expensive. But I think in general, it's cheaper to eat out in Seoul.
Yes, there's a lot of choice in Seoul. Speaking of which, I'm hungry. Do you want to get something to eat?
Sure, good idea.
Okay, sure, good idea when talking about eating. So, number 2, Andy is living in Seoul or Sydney? Yeah, he is living in Seoul. And Andy is working, when Andy is working at or studying at the university. The answer is studying at the university. Good. And then, now for the summer are hotter in Sydney. True or false? No idea? Number 2, false.
Okay.
Number 3,
The
true. Number 4,
True.
true. Number 5,
True.
false.
False.
Yeah. Number 6,
False.
false. Very good. Okay, and so go to vocabulary. We have a lot of vocabulary here. Clean, vocabulary are mixed up, and now divide them into 3 groups. Group 1 describing climate, people near អាកាសធាតុ Group 2 describing city, people near ទីក្រុង Group 3 talking about things and places in the city. និយាយពីអ្វីៗឬក៏ទីកន្លែងនៅក្នុងទីក្រុង Now look at harbor. Harbor is place, right? Harbor. Harbor and clean describing city. Okay. And humid about climate. Humid means wet, sớm, and coast already. Mild about weather, climate. Mild mean average weather. មានន័យថាអាកាសធាតុដែលវាមធ្យមវាមិនក្តៅមិនត្រជាក់ណា Crowded, talking about city. And noisy, also talking about city. Dangerous, also talking about city. Dangerous. Okay, about safe, also talking about city. Safe. And dirty, also city. Dirty. and skyscraper អាគារកប់ពពកអាហ្នឹងគឺកន្លែង thing or places skyscraper okay suburb also places ជាក្រុង suburb ជាក្រុង foggy tropical is describing climate right you know this word also in the unit exam everybody don't forget to do that now we can choose the word from this box to complete this paragraph okay let's go to complete with me Panama City is the capital of the Republic of Panama in Central America okay Panama គឺប្រទេសមួយនៅខាងទ្វីបអាមេរិកកណ្ដាល Panama City is located it has population of approximately 1.2 million so it's a little crowded like that Panama City is located we talk about Pacific about ocean so it's on the coast at the entrance of the Panama Canal it has a humid climate so most of the year it's very hot and humid and what very hot and I'm sorry, this one it has a tropical climate, not humid, sorry. Tropical climate here. And this one is hot and humid. There are many skyscraper in downtown Panama City and also high-rise apartments in the suburb. Okay, that's go to grammar and grammar I already explained in my video clip so please go back to watch my video clip again okay and now look at study this example this table we have 3 cities New York Los Angeles Miami and this is a population not the same they have different number and also quality you remember when the number is high it means clean and when the number is low it means dirty temperature if it is high it means hot and it is low it means cold too about crime rate you know crime rate อัตราជនល្មើស per 1,000 people so in New York there are 7 criminal per 1,000 Los Angeles there are 8 and for Miami there are 16 so by this table can you make this sentence as comparative or superlative so number 2 Los Angeles is look at crime rate more dangerous like this មើលអត្រាអក្រិតកម្មវា Miami ខ្ពស់ជាងអញ្ចឹងយើងដាក់ more dangerous Los Angeles ហ្នឹងវាច្រើនជាង New York អញ្ចឹងវា more dangerous than complete មានពាក្យ than ណា than Miami is warmer than ណា one syllable we just add er warmer than okay and New York is the coldest city talking about one of the 3 we call coldest city Los Angeles is safer than when we say comparative we have to add the word then inside okay Miami is the most dangerous city okay number 7 Los Angeles is dirtier then. So everyone give you one answer for number 8. Study the example, study by the table and give you one example for number 8. តោះគ្នាខ្ញុំឲ្យយើងប្រច្រើនណាស់ឥឡូវឲ្យខ្ញុំតែមួយឯងលេខ8ឲ្យខ្ញុំចម្លើយតែមួយមកណាមើលតារាងនេះដឹងហើយសរសេរយ៉ាងម៉េចណាញូវយ៉កគឺមានតែ7ទេហើយអ្នកផ្សេងមាន8មាន16យើងដាក់អីបានត្រូវYes បដិគុណស្រាប់អត់លឺទេបដិគុណបដិគុណអត់បើក voice ផងនេះកញ្ញានេះធួកញ្ញាឆ្លើយមួយមើលកញ្ញាអត់នៅទេអត់នៅមែននេះមកឆ្លើយមកស្រីឈឹមអីគេអត់ឆ្លើយទេឥឡូវអត់ឆ្លើយខ្ញុំឆ្លើយមកអញ្ចឹងអូខេយើងអត់ឆ្លើយខ្ញុំឆ្លើយណាខ្ញុំឆ្លើយណាគឺ the least dangerous មានន័យថាគ្រោះថ្នាក់តិចជាងគេអាហ្នឹងខ្លាយពីគេណាអញ្ចឹងក្នុង comparison និង comparative adjective ហ្នឹងវាមានខ្លាំងមានខ្សោយកាលណាខ្លាំងយើងប្រើ more most ឬក៏ er អីចឹងទៅតែដល់ពេលខ្សោយយើងប្រើ less សម្រាប់ comparative the least សម្រាប់ superlative Okay look at reading everybody យើងមាន reading ហើយឆ្លើយតលំហាត់លេខ3មួយ true false ណាសូមឆ្លើយតែ true false បានហើយឥឡូវស្ដាប់ listening របស់ reading ណាស្ដាប់ជាមួយខ្ញុំដូចតទៅ please listen
Pages 30 and 31, exercise 2.
Sydney, the perfect city. Sydney is Australia's most famous city. Although many people think it's the capital of Australia, it's only the capital of the state of New South Wales. The capital of Australia is Canberra. Sydney is, however, the biggest and oldest city in the country. Growth of a multicultural city. In little more than 200 years, Sydney has grown to become the most multicultural city in Australia. The first group of immigrants came to Australia from Europe. Then, in the 1970s, most of Australia's immigrants came from Asia. Today, the population of Sydney is more than 4 million, and the culture of the city is a combination of the cultures of the people who live there. When you go to a restaurant in Sydney, you can find cuisine from around the world, including Thai, Japanese, Korean, Chinese, Greek, Italian, and Mexican foods. Life in Sydney. The climate, with almost 8 months of good weather, makes Sydney the perfect city for outdoor life. What's more, the city has more than 30 beaches along the 37 miles, 60 kilometers of its coast. In Sydney Harbour, one of the world's most spectacular bays, you can find the Sydney Opera House, Australia's most well-known building. Passing by the Opera House is a constant parade of small boats, yachts, ferries, and enormous cruise ships. In Sydney, a California lifestyle has been combined with European influences in its cafes, movie theaters, theaters, and concert halls. Shorts and sandals are the most popular clothes to wear, and beer and barbecues are everywhere. Today and beyond. Sydney has come a long way in a short time. In the year 2000, the city hosted the Summer Olympic Games. This put Sydney even more in the spotlight. Sydney is a world-class city that's looking toward the future.
Okay, that's all for that. So go to exercise. Number 1, Sydney is a state capital, but not the national capital. About number 2. Number 1 is true. And number 2, Sydney is the oldest city in Australia. True or false?
True.
True, very good, true. Thank you for your answer. And then Sydney is smaller than Canberra.
Cameras.
Canberra. False. Canberra. We call it Canberra. Okay, Canberra. Number 4, less than 4 million people live in Sydney. True or false?
True.
False. More than 4 million, not less than. Sydney is on the coast. True, right? And number 6, Sydney has a warm climate for most of the year. True or false?
False.
False?
Yes, false.
Okay, not really true.
True.
Yeah. Number 7, the lifestyle in the Sydney is influenced by California and Europe. True or false?
False.
No.
Sir, false.
True. Don't worry, no worry. Không khổ chết nữa. Okay. People in Sydney usually wear formal clothes.
False.
False, very good. 1 correct. At least you have 1 answer correctly. Okay? យ៉ាងហើយក៏យើងឆ្លើយត្រូវបាន 1 ដែរ So go to song. Do you like a song, everybody? Tell me honestly, everyone, have you watched my video clips? អរបានមើលវីដេអូ clip ខ្ញុំមិននៅកន្លែងហ្នឹង
Lại nó mơ ở toán sir.
មើលអត់ទាន់ទេណាអញ្ចឹងខ្ញុំដាក់ចម្លើយឲ្យតែហ្មងទៅណា
នៅឈ្មោះនៅ
ខ្ញុំដាក់ចម្លើយមកព្រោះចម្រៀងហ្នឹងបាក់ស្ដាប់ហ៎វានឹងបាក់ស្ដាប់មែនតាខ្ញុំចាក់ឲ្យនៅក្នុងវីដេអូ clip ហើយអញ្ចឹងយើងមិនបាច់ចាក់មិនស្ដាប់ដល់ទៀតទេហ្នឹងហ៎មិនសូវព្រោះទេណាអញ្ចឹងយើងដាក់ចម្លើយតែម្ដងព្រោះហ្នឹងរៀងលឿនពិបាកមែនចម្រៀងមិនស្រួលស្ដាប់ទេណាអញ្ចឹងសូម
Việc là ha.
បាទលឿនពេកអូខេអញ្ចឹង number 2 letter C number 2 letter C number 2 number 3 letter H number 4 letter F number 5 letter A number 6 letter C number 7 letter G number 8 letter E last one ចុងក្រោយលេខអក្សរអីអ្នកណាដឹង
Japan.
ចុងក្រោយអក្សរអី
D ចា
D good right very good at least one yeah, that's the one ចាហើយយើងឆ្លើយបានមួយដែរណា អូខេឥឡូវយើងមើល number 1គេនិយាយពីទីក្រុងអីក្នុងចម្រៀងគេនិយាយថា Tokyo ហើយនេះមេរៀនក្រោយត្រូវតែមើលណាអត់ដូចហ្នឹងត្រូវតែមើលត្រូវធ្វើឲ្យហើយណាអូខេ number 2 Seoul យើងហៅ Seoul ណាតែអង់គ្លេសហៅ Seoul number 3 Istanbul number 4 Delhi នៅណាអ្នកដឹងទេក្រុង Delhi
India
India good Delhi and number 5 Karachi where is Karachi in Pakistan number 6 Mumbai where is Mumbai ណា Mumbai ហ្នឹងពីមុនឈ្មោះ Bombay ឥឡូវអង់គ្លេសដូរឥណ្ឌាដូរដាក់ Mumbai and number 7
នៅអារ៉ាប់រូប
no Mumbai ហ្នឹងមិនមែនអារ៉ាប់រួមទេនៅឥណ្ឌាអូខេ Timbuktu នេះអត់លើសំដីកុមារីសោះនេះអត់លើ lady និយាយសោះនេះ lady ជួយមាត់ប្រមាណមកចំ Lady បាត់ថឹងអញ្ចឹង
Lady មកធ្វើគុណបណ្ដាក់បានលឺខ្លាំងរីច្រើន
ចាំបាច់គ្រូគេសង្ហាណាគេមិនដូចយើងគ្រូគេមានណាលោកគ្រូអូណ៎អូខេអញ្ចឹងមានន័យថាខ្ញុំសង្ហាដែរណាលោកគ្រូសង្ហាបែបលោកគ្រូអូខេមែនហ្នឹងអ្នកណាក៏ថាអញ្ចឹងដែរអូខេ number 8 Bogota and number 9 last one Montreal you know Montreal where is it ណា Montreal ហ្នឹងណាដឹងគឺនៅប្រទេសកាណាដាណានៅប្រទេសកាណាដា
នៅអាល្លឺម៉ង់ច្រើន
ចម្រៀងហ្នឹងគាត់ច្រៀងពីនរណាមានចម្លើយ3នរណាទាយដឹងទី1 singer's girlfriend ទី2 singer's mother ទី3 singer's ex girlfriend អានកន្លែងនេះមួយយើងដឹងអានេះShe was beautiful but not as beautiful as you are I met a girl all around the world with lips that smile, hair and that curl, but none of them compares with you, dear. គឺថាមានស្រីណាមួយប្រៀបធៀបនឹងគាត់បានទេអញ្ចឹងគាត់និយាយពីនរណានិយាយពី mother និយាយពី girlfriend ឬក៏ ex girlfriend lady by your experience mother oh not correct ex girlfriend បរទេសអត់ដូចយើងទេយើងគិតពីម្ដាយធំជាងគេណាតែសម្រាប់ជនបរទេសជនជាតិអាមេរិកកាំងឬជនជាតិអង់គ្លេសអីអឺរ៉ុបអីគាត់គិត girlfriend គាត់សំខាន់ជាងណាហេតុអីបានគាត់គិតអញ្ចឹងមិនមែនគេគិតខុសឲ្យជាវប្បធម៌គេទី1ទី2គឺដោយសារគេគិតថាឪពុកម្ដាយគេមានរដ្ឋជាអ្នកថែទាំមានគាត់ចាស់ទៅមានរដ្ឋគេមើលថែអញ្ចឹងគាត់មិនបាច់គិតក៏បាននៅស្រុកយើងតែយើងមិនគិតអ្នកណាគិតឪពុកម្ដាយយើងពេលគាត់ចាស់ទៅគ្មានរដ្ឋណាគិតយើងទេអានេះជាវប្បធម៌ណាទៅយើងមើលពាក្យដែលដកស្រង់ចេញពីចម្រៀង under elbow អ្វីនៅក្រោមកែងដៃជាពាក្យអ្វីនៅក្រោមកែងដៃពាក្យក្នុងចម្រៀងនេះណា Okay, after listening, match the underlined word and expression in the song to the definition. ពាក្យនៅក្នុងចម្រៀងមានការគុំតតពីក្រោមអញ្ចឹងយកពាក្យណាដែលគុំតតពីក្រោមហ្នឹងណាអូខេយកមកដាក់ណា under elbow ដឹងទេតើអ្នកដឹងអត់ number 1 enormous under elbow គឺសំទោសមិន under elbow ទេ under or below the elbow under and below អាហ្នឹងគឺមកពីពាក្យថា beneath នេះពាក្យហ្នឹងយើងមើលនេះឃើញទេនេះពាក្យដែលគូតពីក្រោមនេះ beneath look like enormous take off you my mind take you off my mind និង maybe អូខេទី2 is smaller than អីគេគឺ isn't quite as big as អីត្រូវ number 4 maybe number 5 had the same appearance as គឺ look like and make me forget mean take you off my mind okay take you off my mind ស្មើនឹង make me forget អូខេចំពោះ listening នេះគឺយើង skip យើងចូលទៅចំណុចបន្តគឺចំណុចចុងក្រោយនៃការបញ្ចប់មេរៀនឥឡូវអ្នកស្ដាប់ listening គឺមានសំណួរ2ដែលត្រូវសួរអ្នកទាំងគ្នា listening តែមួយទេតែសួរសំណួរ2ប្រភេទ exercise 2 which city does Jack prefer តើទីក្រុងមួយណាដែល Jack គាត់ចង់រស់នៅ number 2 which city does Lisa prefer តើទីក្រុងមួយណាដែល Lisa ចង់រស់នៅទីក្រុងមាន3មានទីក្រុងអីខ្លះគឺទីក្រុងនេះដល់នេះមើលទីក្រុង Los Angeles Miami និង New York 3ហ្នឹងអញ្ចឹងយើងស្ដាប់ទៅតើគាត់រស់នៅចង់រស់នៅមួយណាសម្រាប់ Jack គាត់ជាប្រុស Lisa គឺជាស្រីអញ្ចឹងយើងចាំស្ដាប់មើលហើយក្នុងការស្ដាប់យើងត្រូវជ្រើសរើសយកអានេះមកបំពេញណាពីលេខ1ដល់លេខ6លេខ1ដល់លេខ6ណាខ្ញុំបរិធំតិចដើម្បីឲ្យឃើញពេញអូខេលេខ1ដល់លេខ6គេបំពេញលេខ1ឲ្យហើយសល់លេខ6យើងអ្នកបំពេញឥឡូវគឺ 3.9 ឥឡូវស្ដាប់ទាំងអស់គ្នាជាមួយខ្ញុំដូចតទៅ
Page 34. Exercises 2 and 3.
Which city would you prefer to live in? Los Angeles, Miami, or New York?
Well, New York is the biggest city, and it's probably the most interesting.
That's true, but the air is cleaner in Miami, and it's also the warmest city. I really like warm weather.
I know what you mean. I don't like cold weather. But Miami is also the most dangerous.
That's so true. I don't want to be unsafe.
And what about all those hurricanes?
I see what you mean, but I think people can plan ahead for the hurricanes, so it's not a big problem.
I don't know about that. There are a lot of problems with hurricanes every year.
Yeah, but anyway, I still think I'd prefer Miami. It has a good lifestyle.
I totally agree. Overall, it's probably a nice place to live.
Okay. Which city does Jack prefer? Tell me. តើ Jack គាត់ចូលចិត្ត city ណាមួយ
Miami I know what you mean
No, my question is which city does Jack
Jack prefer Miami
Very good. Jack prefer Miami. Okay. And then, which city does Lisa prefer?
Lisa prefer New York City
Very good. Very good. New York City. Well done. You have 100% answer correct. យើងមានចម្លើយ 100% ត្រូវណាអូខេបាន100បន្ទុកតែកុំភ្លេចចូលប្រឡងក្នុង e-learning ណាអ្នកទាំងគ្នាកុំភ្លេចឲ្យសោះបានបើកហើយក្នុង e-learning ណាមានអ្នកខ្លះប្រឡងហើយទៀតផង Okay, number 2 that's so true. How about number 1? Yes.
ប្រឡងដល់ថ្ងៃណាលោកគ្រូ
ប្រឡងដល់ស្អែកល្ងាចម៉ោង 8 យប់ផុតពីនឹងប្រឡងលេងបានហើយណា
គ្រូសុំសួរមួយបងគ្រូ
សួរច្រើនក៏បានដែរសួរមក
ដាច់ចូលប្រឡងគ្រូ
សួរមកមែនទេ
របៀបចូលប្រឡងចូលតាមមិនដែរគ្រូតែញ៉ាំដែរចូលប្រឡងផង
យើងចូលក្នុង account យើងដូចយើងចូលរៀននឹងអញ្ចឹងណាតែយើងចូលទៅកន្លែងចុចកន្លែងពាក្យថាចុចកន្លែង tray 3 នោះណាចុចយើងឃើញមកជួរនៅខាងស្ដាំដៃកន្លែងប្រឡងចុចប្រឡងទៅឃើញប្រឡងមកឃើញមានប្រមាណប៉ុណ្ណឹងហើយឃើញប្រឡង2ដាក់ប្រឡងទាំងពីរអញ្ចឹងណា
បាទគ្រូ
អូខេដូចចូលរៀនអញ្ចឹងដែរគ្រាន់ថាយើងយក option ផ្សេងចូលរៀនយើងចូលវគ្គសិក្សាអញ្ចឹងណាចូលខាងកន្លែងសញ្ញាបូកហ្នឹងហើយដល់ពេលសញ្ញាបូកពណ៌ក្រហមទៅយើងឃើញយើងបង្ហាញអញ្ចឹងទៅអាហ្នឹងកន្លែងចូលរៀនដល់កន្លែងចូលប្រឡងយើងចុចកន្លែងសញ្ញា tray 3នៅខាងស្ដាំដៃបំផុតនោះយើងចុចទៅឃើញមានមួយជួរនៅខាងស្ដាំដៃវិញសំទោសនៅខាងស្ដាំដៃបើចុចខាងស្ដាំហ្នឹងទៅអា tray 3នៅខាងស្ដាំហ្នឹងទៅយើងមើលមកខាងឆ្វេងឃើញមួយជួរអញ្ចឹងពាក្យប្រឡងហ្នឹងគឺឃើញពណ៌រាងលឿងភ្លឺជាងគេអញ្ចឹងណា
បាទបាទ
អញ្ចឹងយើងឡើងបានឥឡូវមើលលំហាត់យើងវិញ exercise 2 exercise 3 number 2យកពីអីយកពីយកមកណា
I know what you mean
Very good. I know what you mean. Number 2. And number 3.
I don't know what you mean
Number 3.
I don't know about that I don't know about
No. Number 3, not that. ឥឡូវស្ដាប់ម្ដងទៀតណា
that's so true
ស្ដាប់ម្ដងទៀតស្ដាប់អត់
Page 34. Exercises 2 and 3.
Which city would you prefer to live in? Los Angeles, Miami, or New York?
Well, New York is the biggest city, and it's probably the most interesting.
That's true, but the air is cleaner in Miami, and it's also the warmest city. I really like warm weather.
I know what you mean. I don't like cold weather. But Miami is also the most dangerous.
That's so true. I don't want to be unsafe.
And what about all those hurricanes?
I see what you mean, but I think people can plan ahead for the hurricanes, so it's not a big problem.
I don't know about that. There are a lot of problems with hurricanes every year.
Yeah, but anyway, I still think I'd prefer Miami. It has a good lifestyle.
I totally agree. Overall, it's probably a nice place to live.
Okay ច្បាស់ទេបងប្អូនគ្នា Number 3
I don't know what you mean I don't know what
No. Number 3
That's so true.
That's so true. Very good.
អត់តន់លឿនណាស់
Number 4
I see.
Good.
What?
I see what you mean. Number 4. I see what you mean. Number 5.
I don't know about that.
Okay, very good, lady. I don't know about that.
Okay.
Okay. And the last one.
homework, sir.
I
I don't
totally
have.
agree.
No. Last one for you, please.
I totally agree.
Okay. Very good. Very amazing. I totally agree. Okay, ចុងក្រោយចឹងជួយចិត្តឲ្យចុងក្រោយហ្នឹង Okay. ឥឡូវយើងបាទកន្លែង writing ហ្នឹងខ្ញុំអត់នេះណាខ្ញុំអត់ focus ទេខ្ញុំនិយាយតាំងពីមានទី1កន្លែង writing ខ្ញុំសុំរំលងចោលចំណុចសំណេរហ្នឹងខ្ញុំសុំរំលងចោលណាយើងចូលទៅចុងបញ្ចប់នៃមេរៀនណាចុងបញ្ចប់នៃមេរៀនគឺអ្នកទាំងនេះត្រូវធ្វើលំហាត់នៅទំព័រ37ទំព័រ37គឺជាចុងបញ្ចប់នៃលំហាត់ homework ណា homework ធ្វើខ្ញុំយកផុតកំណត់ថ្ងៃអាទិត្យណាផុតកំណត់ថ្ងៃអាទិត្យហើយទាំងពីរចាទាំងពីរ page 25មួយទៀត page 25សម្រាប់ unit 2 ហើយ page 37 unit 3 Hello ឮតាសម្រាប់មេរៀនហ្នឹងគឺទំព័រ25មេរៀនទី2លំហាត់មេរៀនទី2ទំព័រ25លំហាត់មេរៀនទី3ទំព័រ37ណាបើអ្នកទាំងអស់គ្នាមានសភៅតែបើអ្នកទាំងអស់ download យកគឺយកអាចុងក្រោយណាឥឡូវនេះក្នុងលំហាត់មេរៀនទី3នេះមាន listening មួយទៀតអញ្ចឹងអ្នកទាំងអស់គ្នាស្ដាប់ listening មេរៀនទី3លំហាត់ចុងក្រោយណាអញ្ចឹងអ្នកណាដែលបានមើលវីដេអូឃ្លីបទើបអាចធ្វើលំហាត់ចុងក្រោយបានបើអត់បានមើលគឺធ្វើមិនបានទេឥឡូវខ្ញុំចាក់ listening ឲ្យហើយខ្ញុំឲ្យមើលការបកប្រែខ្មែរនិងអត្ថបទអញ្ចឹងបើអ្នកទាំងនេះចង់សារដើមឡើងវិញបានគឺយើងមើលវីដេអូឃ្លីបដែលជួបគ្នាផ្ទាល់នេះឡើងវិញតិចទៀតខ្ញុំ share វីដេអូនឹងទៅក្នុងក្រុមឲ្យណា
Page 37, exercise 3.
So, Anna Maria, where are you from?
I'm from Cuenca, Ecuador.
And you live in Guayaquil now?
Yes, that's right.
So, do you like living in Guayaquil?
Yes, I do. It's more exciting than living in Cuenca.
I see. And what's Cuenca like? Is it very different from Guayaquil?
Yes, it is. A lot of things are different.
Like what?
Well, Cuenca is a lot smaller than Guayaquil.
How about the weather?
Guayaquil is a lot hotter than Cuenca because Cuenca's in the mountains and Guayaquil's on the coast.
Oh, really? That's interesting. And what else is different? Is Cuenca crowded like Guayaquil?
Well, Cuenca is a lot smaller than Guayaquil, so it's less crowded. Guayaquil is the biggest and busiest city in Ecuador.
What about public transportation?
The public transportation is definitely better in Guayaquil. Cuenca has buses and taxis, but the buses are slow and old. The buses in Guayaquil are fast and new.
And what about the cost of living?
Well, it depends on if you're downtown or in the suburbs. But in general, the cost of living is higher in Guayaquil than it is in Cuenca.
That's interesting. I'd like to visit Cuenca.
Okay ចឹងចប់ណាមេរៀនទី3ទាំងអស់គ្នាអានេះជា homework ចុងក្រោយ listening របស់ homework ចឹងអ្នកធ្វើអាចជ្រើសរើសចម្លើយ true false ណានៅក្នុង homework ចឹង homework មាន2ទៀតហើយទំព័រ25និងទំព័រ37ថ្ងៃផុតកំណត់ថ្ងៃអាទិត្យចឹងបើអ្នកណាសួរថាថ្ងៃណាទៀតសូមប្រធានថ្នាក់បដិជគុណក៏ដូចជាអនុប្រធានជួយជម្រាបមិត្តរួមថ្នាក់ផងក៏ចង្ការដែលខ្លះគាត់អត់បានចូលរៀនតែគាត់មើលនៅក្នុង YouTube គាត់ឃើញគាត់ក៏សួរណាប៉ុន្តែមកពីមេរៀនមុនខ្ញុំអត់បានប្រាប់អញ្ចឹងលើកនេះខ្ញុំប្រាប់ហើយគឺផុតកំណត់ថ្ងៃអាទិត្យណាអូខេហើយអរគុណអ្នកដែលបានផ្ញើ homework កន្លងមកអរគុណមែនតើណា
គ្រូអធិស្ឋានគ្រូក្នុង attendance
attendance ស្រង់បានចាំកណា ចាំខ្ញុំស្រង់ឲ្យទេចាំខ្ញុំស្រង់ឲ្យអត់អី
បាទបាទ
ស្រង់ឲ្យអូខេចឹងខ្ញុំស្រង់ឲ្យឥឡូវខ្ញុំ share slide បញ្ចប់ អូខេចឹងអត់ទេសូមបិទ live មួយសិនណាសូមបិទ live stream មួយសិនយើងចាប់ហើយចឹងបិទ live stream សិនទៅចាំ